what's up? It's me, Schneebles here. My little Schneebleites. I hope y'all are having a great day. Sorry I haven't been active lately, but I'm going to try to turn that around a bit and try to get a little bit of another video going. So, as you know, one of my favorite decks and my favorite I guess, archetypes is the Red Dragon Archfiends and Resonators. And I did a deck list for that earlier, but I've been fiddling around with that a little bit, and I think I made it a little more efficient. Just this morning, I went ahead and went like 7 of 10 duels, won a few matches. A few people were like, "Whoa, that's pretty good," and it's all because of this card, and we'll get to that later. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of talk about the deck and what changes were made. And if you haven't seen the original video, I'll go ahead and just kind of summarize everything. So to get started, we have 3 red wargs. It's kind of just a basic kind of a staple to stick with, kind of what the archetype needs. There are other cards, of course, you could substitute for this, of course, for level 6s to make your level 8 plays. But I really like the red warg just because it sticks to the archetype. So when you normal summon a Resonator monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but its attack is halved. So that's it's really good when you have red Resonator, red warg, and another tuner in your hand. You can summon red Resonator, special summon red warg, special summon another Resonator, go into a synchro play. You could potentially get Abyss or even Bane like that. Next up, we have the Tricky, just because it's a really easy level 5 monster to summon. 2000 attack, that's a pretty good, if you're going against someone and you just need something to be able to attack with, he's there. Good monster. You're able to go into your level 6s or 8s also, depending on what tuner you're using. Then we have 3 red sprinters for level 4, just because if you pair this with level 2 or tuner, you're going to go ahead and get level 6. So that's pretty good for pulling out some of our better draw power and mid to strong attack monsters. Then we have 3 Goblinberg. So this and Red Sprinter are both interesting because with Red Sprinter, when it's normal summon any control monsters, you can special summon level 3 or lower fiend type from your hand or graveyard. So that's good. In case your opponent cleared your field, it's like a fresh start. You pull this one out, you pull out a tuner from the grave, and boom. Then you got Goblinberg. When it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your hand, then change this to defense. That's great too, because that's almost always another synchro monster. We have 2 Dark Resonators. I had it at 3, moved it down to 2. This card's a good defense, and it's a level 3 tuner, so that can create a few good plays. It can't be destroyed by battle the first once per turn. Then Creation Resonator, we also have it 2. It used to be at 3. If you control a face-up level 8 or higher synchro monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Red Resonator, the best of all the Resonators, I think. It's my favorite. Whenever I see it in my hand, it's like, whoa, something's going to happen. So as normal summon, you can special summon a level 4 lower monster from your hand. When this card is special summon, you can target any face-up monster on the field, gain life points equal to that monster's attack. You only use that once per turn, so kind of, don't misplay with it. Think wisely and go ahead and go for if you're going to go for big play, wait until you get the best monster on the field to special summon this for that effect. We have 3 level leaders just because it's a synchro deck. Level leader's awesome. Adds another card on the field, changes levels, pretty good. Then we have 3 Marsh Macaroons just to be trolly. It's a good card on the field. It usually will make your opponent trigger Solemn Strike or Warning, anything just to get rid of this card. We have 3 Chain Resonators. When this card's normal summoned while there's a synchro monster on the field, you can special summon any Resonator monster from your deck, except Chain Resonator. Glow Bulb, also just because it's a great tuner. So you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, special summon this from the graveyard, but you can only do that once per turn. Then we have 3 Synchron Resonators. So if there's a synchro monster on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Resonator monster in the grave and add it to your hand. So that's pretty good too, because it kind of recycles your tuners. So now let's get into it. That's it for our monsters. Let's go ahead and get into our spells and traps. So because this is a typical Schneebles, 60 card deck, we do have 2 Lawn Mowing next door. So the grass is always stays on the other side. I love this card. So if you have, it's not out yet though in TCG, I don't believe, but it's pretty fun to use. So if you have more cards in your deck than your opponent, send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard until you have the same amount of cards in the deck as your opponent. Most times you're going to have the more cards than your opponent. It's great because then you can add so many cards to your graveyard, and like you've seen, a lot of these cards recycle. Like you get the effective Glow Up Bulb available. You could bring Resonator from the grave to special summon. Level Eaters are good. Could go to the grave. March Macaroon could bring itself back from the grave if another one is destroyed. So it's pretty good. Kind of fills it up a bit. Then we have Regeki. Why? Because sometimes you just gotta blow shit up. Common sense. Everybody should have Regeki. I'll say it once. I'll say it twice. Everyone should have Regeki. You have 3 Resonator calls. One of the better cards because it's a search card that you could add any Resonator from your deck to your hand. There's no stipulation. There's no activate 1 per turn. It's boom. Any Resonator from deck to hand. You do it 3 times. 1 day apiece. Each player draws 1 card, and neither player takes damage till the end of your opponent's turn. Common sense. It's a good card in decks that don't really have that kind of consistency. It's good to have just because it kind of stalls 1 extra turn sometimes. It can backfire, but it's pretty good because it's a draw power card and it stalls. Then we have 3 Cup of Ace. This is a new card to me. I mean, I've used it before, but I decided that it's been pretty good to me, and I decided to run it at 3 just because it's all luck, and I'm a big fan of cards that kind of put the game into the hands of luck, and there's skills taken out of it because so many decks are helmet decks and they all require the same combos, and if you just get outplayed, then you get outplayed, but it's not even really skill at some point. So Cup of Ace kind of changes that up a bit. Toss a coin. If it's heads, you draw 2 cards. Tails, your opponent draws 2 cards. It really makes things interesting, and it leads to some pretty intense moments. I know, like one time I had 2 in my hand, both times went to the opponent. Somehow I still won, so I got pretty lucky. So then we have Soul Charge. Of course, common sense. Bring out as many monsters from your graveyard as you can in multiples of 1,000 life point payments. Pretty good. You can't, but you can't conduct your battle phase. Kind of negative, but in any kind of a synchro deck, it's important to be able to do that. I mean, you instantly have access to all your graveyard. Why not do it, right? Then we have 1 card of Demise for further draw power. So you draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Common sense. Then you can't. Your opponent takes no damage, and at the end of the turn, you send your entire your entire hand to the grave, and you can't special summon after this, or during this turn at all. Upstart Goblin. Draw 1 card. Your opponent's life points go up by 1,000. So there is a lot of draw power that's been added to this deck from what I normally have, but it's kind of important, and it's been working better, so we'll see kind of how that keeps going. But like I said, 7 out of 10 duels won today with it, and I kind of like this deck list a little better than it had been before. So then we have, this is the new card to me that I hadn't seen, but then I dueled someone earlier today, and he used this, and I was like, whoa, that's awesome. It kind of changed my life. So added it to my deck instantly, and it's really changed things up. Stardust Shimmer. You select 1 Dragon-type Synchro monster in your graveyard, remove from play other monsters in your graveyard whose total levels equal the level of the selected monster, and special summon it from the graveyard. There's 3 of them. There's no stipulation of once per turn or anything. Combine this with Lawn Mowing Next Door and some early Synchro plays, and you got yourself a pretty good chance of getting a good field going. So yeah, must have. I don't know why I never had it, and it's from Storm of Ragnarok, so it's not even an old card. I mean, not a new card. I've just missed it, I guess. Then we have 1 Twin Twister. I usually don't run these things, but if too many people are using anti-meta decks and pendulum decks, and I decided it had to be done. So this is a good way to kind of clear off the board a bit. Of course, we have our cards here that kind of do the same, but Twin Twister is just a good, quick, from the hand, take care of it. King's Consonance. This card I'm still going to keep. I thought about taking it out, but it can negate an opponent's attack, and it can also, you have the ability to banish a tuner and any non-tuners to special summon level 8 or more synchro monster from your graveyard. From your extra deck, sorry. Okay. Then you have Quaking Mirror Force at ×2, just because I like to be trolly. No one likes that. Torrential Tribute, that saved my life so much. I had taken it out of my decks for a while, and then I was like, whoa, why? This is a great card. It still to this day is a good card, so I had to put it back in there. Then we have 2 Endless Trap Holes, because also like Quaking, you're, it's not targeting, it's just flipping things face down, and then they're stuck like that. Reject Reborn, it's another really good card, kind of in the vein of King's Consonance when an opponent's monster declares an attack and the battle phase. So it's a little better because it ends the battle phase, not just negating the attack. Then you can special summon 1 tuner and 1 synchro monster from your graveyard. So that can lead to bringing out Abyss or some of the bigger cards, because you're bringing out 1 synchro and a tuner. And I love the artwork. Anything with Dark Roller hotties or even Revived Roller, whatever hotties, it's pretty awesome. Compulsory, Common Sense, red screen. I got 2 of them. I had it at 3, but 2 is pretty nice. Kind of lock your opponent down a bit. For some reason, no one uses this card still, and people really don't know what to do about it when it's on the field. I mean, I've been able to stall for up to 5 turns, get a good field going, and I've won a lot of duels because of it. And only Solemn Warning ×1. I don't like Solemns, but I decided to add one in here just to support this deck, to make it a little better, and like I said, it's become a lot more efficient than it was before. So, that is it with the main deck. Let's go ahead and talk about the extra deck. So in our lower end, we got Formula Synchron. We have 1 of them. It's level 2, so it's pretty easy to get. When it's Synchro Summon, you can draw a card. That's awesome. During your opponent's main phase, you can Synchro using this monster too. So you can leave this and another card on the field, and then during your opponent's main phase, you can Synchro to a better monster if you want to kind of just wait it out and think about it a little longer. Tatsunoko, it's another really low-level Synchro that's really efficient. When using the Synchro Summon monster as a Synchro, you could use a monster in your hand as a Synchro material. So that's good, because you don't, sometimes it's like, oh, I have to summon this. I don't have enough time to summon 1 more monster. I can't, or I already did my normal summon. That kind of helps out. TG Hyper Librarian, I thought about removing, because if I Synchro Summon this monster, I almost never get to Synchro Summon another monster afterwards. I usually kind of wait a turn. I don't know why. It's like I'm not very good about getting out level 5 Synchros. I'm really good about 6 or lower, but not 5, just 5. Then Stardust Charge Warrior, another level 6, that when it's Synchro Summon, you can draw a card. And it can attack all special summon monsters your opponent controls once each. This is really good against, like, Despots and stuff, or, everybody special summons and spams the field, so pretty good. Red Rising Dragon, another card that's not out in TCG, and it's been out in OCG for a while, but it's a great card, and I really like using it. I love running it, and I'm praying that it comes out, for TCG, but until then, I'm just going to keep running it on YGO. So when it's Synchro Summoned, you can target a Resonator monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck the turn you activate that effect, though, except Dark Dragon type Synchro monsters, which is, okay, since most of our stuff is Dark Dragon types. During your main phase, except the turn this is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this from the graveyard, target 2 level 1 Resonator monsters in your graveyard, and special summon them. So there's a whole lot of good things that come from Red Rising Dragon, and a whole lot of good things that come from it even being in the graveyard. It instantly sets up to a level 8 due to it being able to summon a Resonator from the graveyard, and then it can help out with some plays down the road even when it's destroyed. Coral Dragon, once returned, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. If this Synchro Summon monster is sent from the field to the graveyard, you draw a card. So that's pretty good. It's another level 6. Clearwing Synchro, it's the only level 7 I run, and I almost never use it. I don't really like level 7s. I took out Blackwing. I just keep this so I can lead into Crystal Wing a little easier sometimes. So it's there. I mean, it has its effect with level 5s being destroyed by effects and all that, but yeah, it's not as important. Scarlight, the beginning of the Red Dragons. Crystal Wing, just because, I mean, this thing is OP. This makes some changes. It's an expensive card, but it's a really important card for Synchro deck, especially a Dragon type one. I advise anyone to get it. If you're willing to spend the money, invest in this card for sure. I mean, this is a game changer, and there's no wonder why any deck with Synchro abilities uses it, right? Beals, 1 Dark Tuner and 1 or more non-tuners cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. When you take damage from an attack involving this card or from an opponent's card effect, it gains attack equal to the damage you took. Great card. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss is basically like the big negator we run. Negate. Once per turn you can negate any effect on the field, or in the graveyard even, I believe. Yeah. until the end of this turn, and when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one tuner in your graveyard, special summon and defense. So that's also leads straight into Bane. With Bane, you contribute one monster on your side of the field, and target one RDA monster in your graveyard, special summon it. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon 2 tuner monsters with the same level from your deck, and one from your deck, one for your graveyard in defense. So that's another way that you just instantly, it's moving up. So it's like, usually you'll summon one of these, you're going to end up getting Abyss. You use Abyss, whatever, you attack, you negate an effect, okay, that goes through. Special summon a Synchro, bring out Bane, pop one of your other monsters, bring back Abyss. You know, it's that duo. Usually once you got both those on the field, and if you can get these two and Crystal Wing, it's game. Like, there's not anything I can think of, unless they bait you pretty well with like Soul Charge, and then you know, negate that, and then they do Regeki or something. But still, even then, you got so much power that I don't think you could be baited enough to where they can just eliminate all 3 at once. But then again, we all misplay, right? Then we got Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant. So it's pretty cool because during main phase 1, you can destroy all cards in the field. It's like Regeki and Heavy Storm, everything all put into one. It's amazing. During either player's battle phase, when a spell trap is activated, you negate the activation, destroy it, and gain 500 attack. So that's awesome. Star Eater, just because you want more cards that are, you know, protected. So when its special summoning can't be negated. When synchro summon, cards and effects cannot be activated. If it attacks, it's unaffected by card effects until the end of the damage step. So it's kind of like a dragon form of Utopia, and it doesn't double its attack, but Star Eater is awesome. I have it in Ulti, and it's one of my favorite artwork cards. And then Ultimaya, just because you never know. It's fun to play. Then in our side deck, we just have Card-D. You know, you don't really need any of these cards. Dragon King Calamity, he's pretty awesome. I do like this card. I'd like to run it. If anything, I'd take Ultimaya and throw him in, or TG and throw him in. Same with Vermilion Mech. I'd throw out those two and put these two in. Void Ogre, it's another good card, level 8, but I have so many level 8s that I decided he was the odd man out. Hot Ride Dragon Archfiend, of course, just another good card, destroying attack position monsters. Card of Demise, in case we want to sub out maybe like a Cup of Ace for it. Pot of Duality by 1. Ancient Forest. This card's so weird. I don't know why. I use it in like my Inca deck, like straight out the anime, but it's pretty funny card. I don't know. I'd consider it running it just to do it, just for fun. Honestly, it wouldn't help the deck in any way, but you know, it's fun to have stuff for variety, right? Since it's a 60 card deck, why not? And Red Cocoon, you know, just to kind of contribute to the archetype. Anyway, I hope you like this video, and hope you like the deck profile. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes. Comment in the comment section. Like my video. Subscribe to my page. And I hope you enjoy the rest. There will be more to come. Schneebles out. Schneebles, Schneebles, Schneebles.